Okay. Yes. So, all right. Thank you. You can go into presentation mode. I think you need to just enable editing, and then I think it will allow you to do every other thing you need to do. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, understanding the visa type, I think you can just go to the introduction, which is the next slide after this. So, for the introduction, basically, what is a visa? And a visa is just an official document that is given by a country's government and grants permission to foreigners who are coming in, either for to stay, to enter, or to work within its borders for a specific period and purpose. The purpose is very important also. So it's usually stamped or affixed to a passport. Although for some countries, I think in the case of South Korea, the visa is electronic. And why is it important? It is to ensure that every entry is legal. Every stay is legal. There is mutual respect between both countries, respect for their sovereignties, safety and security of everyone, which includes both the residents of the country, which are like the nationals, and then the foreign nationals. So that is why it's actually important to have this visa. So the next part, next slide, please, is understanding the types of visa that we have. So for Korea, basically, there are quite a number of visas. There is visa type A, where you have A1 up to A3. You have B, you have B1 up to B2, and B21, B22. So just as listed, you have C, you have D, but what we'll be focusing on for today is the D2 visa, which applies to you all coming to Korea as students to study. So if you want to learn more about the visa types, you can actually check the link that you can make a screenshot and later go through the link so that you see the different kinds of visa and how, who and what they apply to. Next slide, please. So the documentation. So basically, there are three requirements uh, for the visa application. The three documents that you require. There's the common requirement, which everyone, regardless of your visa type, is supposed to provide. And then specifically suited for D2, there is document from the Korean school which you are coming to join, and document that is related with you as the applicants. That is document you have to provide from your own end. So for the common requirements, you have the filled out application form. It is usually electronic. You have to fill it electronically. Just that the signature is manual. You have to sign manually, but every other filling is electronically. So you can use your Adobe Reader to do that filling. You provide one passport photograph. It's usually in white background. One passport photograph in white background. Your valid international passports and a copy of it. Then document that prove your financial ability. So that document has to be like your personal account statement and a cover letter or a bank reference letter from your bank. They must be original and they must be from the bank branch that is located in Abuja. In this case, if you're applying from Abuja, if you're applying from Lagos, it must be from the one from Lagos. The statement has to be 6 months recent and issued within 14 14 days. Then your confirmed flight booking and confirmed hotel reservation or housing contract, at least for students, usually it's it's better to have an apartment before you come over, so it makes it much easier for you. So your housing contracts or a hotel reservation, or if you are going into the dorm, they usually give this dormitory application stuff. So that can suffice for that also. Then a photocopy of your national ID card or your driver's license or your voter's card, just something that they can identify you with. It must be the same name as it is on your your international passport. So just so that these are very little errors that might cost you if you don't get them right. So a photocopy of your national ID card also, or like I said, your driver's license or your voter's card. Then the documents from the Korean school includes a copy of the certificate of business registration. This is the part of the document the school will provide to you. Then your certificate of admission, which is COA, and then a letter specifying your scholastic aptitude capability. Usually, if you are coming in through a recommendation from, let's say, a professor or something, there's a letter that is that accompanies that. So the school is also going to send that to you. And I believe we all know the process of the school sending this letter to us is that we are supposed to have sent some documents to them first, which includes your bachelor's degree or master's degree, as the case may be, for whatever study you are coming for. And then it has to be authenticated at Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then legalized at the embassy in Nigeria, the Korean embassy in Nigeria. Those are the documents you initially would require to send to the school. That your transcript, your attestation of birth for people that are born after from 1995 backwards. They usually use attestation of birth because MPC's birth certificate is from like 96 down. That's what is applicable. From 96 down, yes, you can present an original birth certificate from MPC, or from 95 up, you have to present attestation of birth from MPC. All of these must be notarized at the embassy. These are documents that you would have sent to the school. The school, after verification, will now send you these 3 documents that I have specified in this slide. Then the document related with the applicants, which is document you have to provide yourself, is your the certificate of latest scholastic achievement, which is just which is the same letter that we spoke about that you had to send to the school initially. So well, before you do that, because the embassy gives you just 1 copy of it, you have to make a photocopy of it. It's very important because in my own time, I didn't make a photocopy, and so I had to wait for the school to. In fact, I had to send a message to the school to send back the documents to me. Okay, so, and this document is best if you do, because they usually request for either you provide an original, which is not really advisable, but you can do a certified true copy from the court. So if you send a certified true copy, it will suffice. So, but before then, you should make a photocopy of it before sending it down to the school. So you need this document also, and then you need an official letter that is issued by your school's dean, stamped and issued from your school. It's not electronic stamp. It has to be original stamp, because these are the little mistakes that we make, and it will cost you a lot. Then the last one there is a medical report from the Korean embassy in Nigeria certified hospitals. They have their specific hospitals that they make use of. You need to get a medical certificate from their hospital, and not just any hospital. Someone actually at one time got from the when you're going to, let's say, the UK now, there's this one that they usually do, very popular. I've actually forgotten the name, but it's very popular for UK. It doesn't apply to Korea. They don't use it. So like for the embassy in Abuja, what they use is a certain hospital in Maitama called Dr. Hassan Hospital. So you need to find out the specified hospital for the area where you fall under and get the medical certificate from that part. Next slide, please. Okay, so for this is just the application process. I just put the application form showing you the form is actually 5. There are 5 pages to that form, and you can see the link there. You can also click on that link, can copy the link and go through it to download the form so that you'd study and know the content and what is required in it. Next slide, please. Okay, so after complete documentation, after everything I've listed that you need to get, how do you go about all of this? First thing, cross-check. Please cross-check again and again. Be sure that you did not make any mistake. If there's anything that the Koreans like is accuracy. You don't do things anyhow. And you must do it once and get it once. That's just how it is. There's no room for excuse. So cross-check again. This helps you to avoid all the back and forth and possible rejection if application is direct to the embassy. Now, for residents of Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River, you are to use the Lagos Embassy alone. If you know you are based in any of these states, which is going to reflect in the address that you input in all of these applications, please jejely go to the Lagos Embassy for your application. There is no, I did not know. They will send you back. Now, every other state outside of these states that has been listed, you are to use the VFS office at Abuja. The VFS office is actually an office at Sterling Plaza in Central Business District, where certain other countries use for their visa application. So the embassy in Abuja does not collect application directly. They route it through VFS. VFS collects on behalf of the embassy and submits. Then when it is ready, you will be notified of it. The third thing there, which is on a lighter note, if you can see, is ensure you have your bath, you eat before you leave, and then forget about your village people. There is no village people that is after you. In Korean application is either you get it or you don't get it, and it is not rocket science. Just follow the process, and that is all. There is no uncle or auntie from any village that is after you. No, absolutely nobody. Just do what you're supposed to do and you get it. Then the fourth one is you go with your application fee of 90,000, which is for the Lagos Embassy alone. I think for the Lagos Embassy, you just need the application fee. I'm not saying you shouldn't have some little other cash with you, but it is just the application fee that the embassy collects from you. But if you are applying through Abuja, there are additional fees to it in VFS Visa Application Center. VFS charge you for service charge, which they call Premium Lounge, 39,759 naira. Then courier fee, because VFS will send it to you when it is done from the embassy. They deliver it to you through DHL, 13,050 naira. There's premium lounge fee also. Okay, VFS service charges for VFS application fee. That is for them collecting the application on your behalf. Then there is premium lounge charge, which is 31,900. And then there is SMS charge because they will update you of the progress at every time, 1,450 naira. So if you calculate, it's around the 170 something thousand. That is what you have to pay. I think maybe 176,000 or 177,000 thereabout. That is what you use in applying at VFS in Abuja. Please go early between the hours of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mondays to Thursdays for submission at VFS office alone. You do not require an appointment to submit at VFS. Once you are sure that all these documents are ready and you've cross-checked them, carry yourself to VFS office between these hours, 9 to 11 only. That is when they collect application. If there's any error, mistake that needs to be corrected, they would inform you right there and then. And then you have to go back and do it again and come back when you are prepared. For the Lagos Embassy, the opening hour is between 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mondays to Fridays. I didn't go through the Lagos Embassy, but I think for some people that did, it might be more stressful than VFS, and it's prone to rejection, not because they want to reject you, but because if it is collected directly by the embassy, there is no, I did not know this, I did not know that. If what they've asked you to get is not there, they will deny you. But for VFS, it is lesser. Rejection is lesser. Maybe you can only be rejected if they don't just think you're actually going for what you're going, or maybe the documents don't actually check out, right? VFS will ensure that before that application is collected from you, everything must be as the embassy has requested. And then you are so certain that you are going to get your visa approved. Next slide, please. And so for what to expect at the end, because this is just the process, what do you expect is your visa grant notice, which looks like that you have there, and your return passport, because your passport is going to be taken. These are the two documents that they will send back to you. Every other document they would keep to themselves. So if there are any of your original documents you want to submit, just carry the original for their citing. Make photocopy. You can even make colored copy to be on the safe side. Give them the colored copy. You understand? So that you don't, because these are the only two documents they will return back to you: the visa grant notice and your passport photograph. So if you go through, you will see how it looks. This is just a sample of how it actually looks. Your passport will be affixed to it, and every other details of yours will be on it. So finally, to the conclusion part of this presentation, um, the visa application is relatively easy and straightforward. It wasn't for me at the time, because I was just doing it anyhow. But I did it once and once only. I was sure that if A is required, I get A. In fact, I went there myself to make the inquiries before I even went to start the application, just so that I don't have to come back again. So it might look stressful to you, but the truth is the visa application process is relatively easy and straightforward. Visa success or visa approval success is usually tied to the sincerity of the documents you present. You don't forge documents for them. If your documents checks out, that is fine and good. And then ensure that all your documentations are complete. This is for those people that will be applying through Lagos, because the embassy might accept it from you, and the next thing you will get is rejection. They will not check. There are too many people. You are not the only one they will sit down and start checking for. That is why VFS charge you the extra to sit down and check all these documents to know if they all are complete. So that is all for the presentation for today. And from here, we'll be taking questions and answers if anyone has. Thank
Thanks so much, Scholar Jonathan, for this wonderful and sacrosanct point you have highlighted in your presentation. In fact, you delve deeper than I even expect, to be sincere. So thanks so much. The next scholars that I'll be presenting for today is Engineer Ismail Adigun. He'll be disseminating on flight information and arrival routine. So Scholar Ismail
Dr.
Adigun.
Sorry to cut you, but I'm actually going back. I don't know if there are any questions, because I have to
No,
just log out.
okay, sorry. Okay, you are going back now.
Yes, and
Okay,
I don't
please,
have my
prospective scholars, please, if you have any question, please proceed with all your question. And any of your, if any of you is having question, please, will you please proceed? Prospective scholar, are you there? This orientation is organized basically because of you guys. Please raise up your hand if you have any question regarding visa application process. So, Terence, how much is required? Okay, could you please speak out, please?
Okay, I think I got that question. Teresa Shuaibu.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, you're asking how much is required in the statement. Basically, if you're actually coming under, let's say, professor scholarship they are actually not looking at the amount that you have, although it is good to have, but they are not after that. What they need to see is the transaction count, like how your statement actually looks like, right? So when I was coming, I was also told the same thing. There are people who came having less than 1 million in their accounts, right? And they got it because some of the documents the school will send out to you already covers for all this proof of you being able to sustain yourself here, because yes, they have given you a letter that, okay, I will be paying this person so amount to be here or to do this work. I will take care of this, I'll take care of that. All your allowances would have been stated on the letter that you get from the school. But it is good that you also don't fall your hands in the Nigerian sense, right? If you can get money to put in the accounts before the period and get a statement that has, it's fine. That's fine and good. But there is no specific amount that you need in the account, but just ensure that your transaction counts are like very good. That's it.
Thanks so much, Scholar Jonathan.
Uh,
Is there any suggestion from NSA? I can see NSA raising.
yes. I think it will be better we have the question after the presentation, and we have some capability here that can actually answer the question that meant to go to Engineer Jonathan, if I'm mistaken, so that we can have everything once and for all. That's just an observation, if it is very well.
No problem. Thank you so much. Okay. Is there any other question from the prospective scholar? I think there is no other question. Scholar Jonathan, thanks so much for taking out of your busy schedule.
All right, thank you.
For today's presentation. All right,
Yeah.
thank you. The next scholar on ground to present for today's orientation is Scholar Ismail Adigun. He'll be disseminating on flight information and arrival routine. So, Scholar Ismail Adigun, please, you can proceed.
Good evening, everyone. So I don't know if you are hearing me. Can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Can you see my slide also? Can you see my slide?
I can see your slide. I can see your slide.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, good day, everyone. My name is Ismail Adebayo Adigun. So, as the moderator has earlier stated, I'm here to give you information on flight and arrival routine. So, you can see this are the content. I have 4 important content, which is the flight information, the departure preparation, check-in and stopover, and the arrival. So please take note of this. So for flight information, what you should know is your airline. So from Nigeria to South Korea, we have this major 4 airlines, but I think people patronize 2 of them most, which is the Ethiopian Airlines and Qatar Airways. But we still have Turkish Airlines and Air France. So another thing is, for all these, there are classes. So there are people that might think of getting first class, business class, premium, but for premium economy, but most people go for economy because of the price and the situation back home. So another thing is the ticket booking. As you can see, you see you can book via third-party sites, which is Waka Now, Traveling Wings, and some other third-party sites. And you can also book via their main site, Ethiopian Airlines and Qatar. You can download their apps. They have apps out there, and you can check the originality by review and some other things like that on the app. So another thing is, when you are coming to Korea, so check for schedule date and cost. So it is important to know that when you are coming, another important thing is to book ahead of time, because there are times whereby, if I'm granted visa
sorry,
today,
Mr. Speaker, I think most of the people on this call, they are complaining that your slide is lagging. But they are still in page 1. Or you are not using?
Okay, okay. Oh, can you see now?
We can see. Yeah.
Okay, you can see now.
Flight information.
Okay.
Yeah. Proceed, please. Yeah.
Okay, flight information. Okay, like I said earlier, so know your airline. These are the 4 major important airlines that are coming from Nigeria to Korea. But actually, we do patronize 2 of them, which is Ethiopian Airlines and Qatar Airways. So, and we have classes, and you know, as a level of people. So we have classes. We have first class car, and we have first class. We have business class. We have premium economy, and we have economy for people of a large percentage. So actually, another thing is to look at the ticket booking. So you can book via their main site, which is Ethiopian Airlines site. You can book via Qatar Airways also, but they also use third party. The 2 that I know very well is Wakana and Traveling Wings, but people trust Wakana more than all others. So for that, you have to fill your personal details, choose your preferred seat. So very important. Like for me, I choose the window side, which is very important to see the atmosphere and what is going on in the cloud. So thank you very much. And number 2, can you see? Oh, sorry. So another thing is for you to schedule your date. So if you are granted visa today, know the exact time you're going to enter Korea. So if you are entering next week, you have to check which one has the lowest price, because you know at times you have to check for days. There are days that have high rates. I think weekend days do have high rates, like Thursday, Friday, and some other days. Like, so you have to check the date with lowest price and know when you're arriving in Korea. So check your departure dates, check the ticket price. And another information that is very important is for you to know which airline is going with all this luggage. So number 1, you have one backpack, 1 handbag, and 2 traveling bags. These 2 traveling bags are 23 kg. That is very, very important. You shouldn't pack everything from Nigeria and think you enter Korea with all that. So it's very important to know the guideline and the requirement from the airlines. So for Ethiopian Ethiopian Airlines, I'm very sure of this which is the one backpack, 1 handbag, which is 1 handbag, which is of 7 kg. So very important, 7 kg, and the traveling bag, which is of 23 kg each. So so you have to be very, very careful about that, so that all your foods or some other stores won't be rejected. So as I said the other time, so you have to know your ticket price. With that, also there is information regarding ticket also. So here you can see ticket booking and transfers to Korea. So it is very, very important to listen to what they've said today. Very, very important. So here you see single ticketing and self transfer. So you can see, like you can see here, you have a single ticketing, you have two separate transfer. It is recommended, highly recommended, to choose the single ticketing. So from, I think, just book Ethiopian Airline. There's nothing like I want to book Ethiopian Airline and then book Air France later and then come to Korea with that. So it's very important to come straight from Nigeria via one airline to Korea. I mean to Korea, because of, maybe you can see here your time. Cost of time, because if you are using two separate ticketing or self-connecting airline to Korea, it might cost you a lot of things like time, luggages, and dangerous. You don't know which country, maybe they might drop you at China and you lost connection to Korea, and stressful again. You can see, it's very, very stressful. So very important to just take your airline and you get your luggage at the end of the day easily. So after that, after this, you prepare prepare for your departure. So as you can see, this is where if you are coming from Lagos, this is International Muritala Airport. And if you are coming from Abuja, this is Nnamdi Azikiwe. And the arrival airport is the Incheon Airport. Very important. So note that's why booking, because I think there is one of Seoul and one of Incheon. It's very important to take note of this. I think book Incheon Airport while coming to Korea. So check-in. So I've from the contents, I've been able to go through this, and I'm coming back to check-in and stopover. So check-in at the airport. So this is you coming from your home. So you get to the airport. I've shown you the time. So you check in. Very important. Why checking in? There are two very important things you must take note. So after you've arranged your luggage, you have to go to animal section. Not very important, but recommended. Or if you are coming with food, because I think some might even think I will get everything in Korea. So, but it's very important to bring Nigerian food, because here in Korea, kimchi might not be your way. So it's very important to bring what you know might survive you for 6 months before anything. So you go to animal section, you check in, they verify what you bring into Korea. After that, you go to where your luggage will be checked in terms of weighing. So they will confirm the 23 kg, the 23 kgs and the 7 kgs, and pass you to where your bag will be consigned, your baggage consignment. So after that, departure examination and declaration of funds, they check you. So please, it's very important not to take. So maybe 5,000 naira to. I'm not recommending this. I'm not recommending this, but you know Nigerian situation, is very important to hold maybe some 5,000 naira or 6,000 naira, so that they will let you have your way easily. Not what are you taking along? They will you know how our people are, and I don't want to talk much because of some sensitive information. So you take some 5,000 naira along, and you go with that. So after that, you board, and you will be welcome to Korea by God's grace. So stopover. So it's very important in your stopover. Is very, very important to know your transfer gate. You can see here, everything is listed here. Everything, your transfer, your time, your seat number, you can see everything is listed on your airline ticket. So know your transfer gates. Use transfer gates, locate your gates. Very important here, especially Ethiopian Airline. If you've used Ethiopian Airline before, you will know this gate. Very, very popular. So check in using your board pass. Oh, here. So arrival routine, after everything, after stopover, coming to Korea, and you arrived in Korea, you have to fill your head form, arrival routine, present your travel documents to immigration to get your entry confirmation. You have to locate your luggage. So very important, so that you will have a very good stay in Korea. I think for 6 months because of food. So locate your dollar. It's very important to bring some dollars along, because here, maybe you have a brother here. I think they might borrow you some money, because it's not recommended to give out money here, because it's not easy actually. $8 to one exchange counter, so and change your dollar. So book a bus ticket to Daegu. You can see here, 10B. You after here after locating your dollar to one exchange counter, you'll be maybe if you have some guidance, it's very important to ask people the gates to Daegu bus ticketing. I think another thing is someone might have helped you book the ticket before and sent to you via WhatsApp or via any app you think it's easy for both of you. So just show it to any Korean that you see in the airport, so as for you to locate the the bus terminal easily. So here is the summary of the transition. You can see from your apartment or you book your ticket, and after that you arrive. Here is you arrive at I think, oh, there's okay from your home here, actually home here to Nigerian airport. You can see here stopover to Incheon Airport here. After that, you book your ticket to Daegu or to Sanju if you are coming to Sanju here, and to your apartment straight. Thank you. And if you have any question, so later we talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scholar Ismail Adigun, for this wonderful and impactful information you have given about flight information and arrival routine. So, to the prospective scholar out there, please, if you have any question, please kindly raise up your hand so your question can be well addressed there. Any question from the prospective scholar, please? This program is organized basically because of you. There's no question, right? Okay, since there's no question, so we're moving down to the chat box.
Hello.
Who is that saying hello?
Sorry, sir. This is Ridwan. I want to ask a question.
Okay, please. Okay, speak out. Or proceed with your question, please.
Thank you for the presentation. So you mentioned something about transfer gate. I don't know what it is. I want you to elaborate on it.
Here, right? So thank you for the question, actually. So it's very important to know this. So stopover. If you are using Ethiopian airline, they will stop over at Ethiopia. So here on your ticket, you will know, you will get every information regarding the gate you will be transferred from to Korea, to the flights taking you to Korea. So everybody will, after you've actually alerted from the plane coming from Nigeria to Ethiopia, so you'll be taken to international transfer. You can see here, everybody is here, a lot of people, and from here there are people going to maybe Saudi Arabia, going to some other countries. So it's very important to know your home gates coming to Korea. So know your gate. It's on the ticket. Locate it. If you don't know, ask questions. It's very important. Ask questions. Locate your gate and board to Korea. Thank you very much. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Are you satisfied with that response?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Please, the prospective scholar should please and ask any question, please, for the sake of God, because we basically sacrifice this time because of you guys, so that you can have a very less difficulty, what's it called, experience while you are traveling down to South Korea. So as not to even encounter any difficulties. That's the more reason why we organize this program. Please feel free to ask any question, please. We have really organized this program because of you guys. So we are here because of you, and this is where you can your question can be well addressed. Please feel free to ask any question. I know if you please proceed with your question.
Good morning from here in Nigeria. Thank you so much for organizing this lovely program. Please, I just want to ask for prospective DKS.
We can hear you. Proceed with your question, please.
Like me.
Scholar,
I don't know if all these booking of flights and all those procedures actually apply.
Could you please speak louder?
Sir.
Oh, okay. If I can get your question, I think I get his question. Actually, if I can get your question, you're asking if this is applicable to GKS Scholar as well, right?
Hello,
Scholar Anofi.
Yes, that's my question.
So, okay. Thank you very much. Actually, for GKS Scholar, I think it's quite different, because from Korea, they might help you book your ticket and help you through that. But it's very important to also know how to locate your gates also. So all these things we've been saying is the same thing, but they will help you book your ticket from Korea. But it's very important to know these steps as well, because they are not going to give you an agent that will follow you from Nigeria to Korea. You are the one to transport yourself from Nigeria to Korea. So note this step, and everything is good for everyone. Thank you.
Do you still have more questions? Please feel free to ask. Scholar Nofi. Scholar Nofi.
Sir,
please feel free to ask your question, please.
Yes, sir. My question was to the first brother that I think he has left.
Okay, that's a visa application process, right?
Yes.
There is someone that can still address it. I think Scholar Salah, please, can you address any question from a visa application process?
Yes, I will do. I think let the third presenter present. Then after that, I will address everything together. So if you have any question, just write them down. Then
okay, just note your question down there. Okay. Thank you so much.
You can ask, then I will answer all the questions.
Okay,
thank you.
Sir.
Okay, thanks so much.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Scholar, if you just note your question down, please. Is there any other question from the scholar out there, please? I think there is no other question, so we can proceed to the last stage, which is accommodation and housing system in Korea. That's by Scholar Adisa Abdelhamid. Scholar Adisa Abdelhamid, please proceed with your presentation.
All right, thank you.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Just looking to my. Okay, sorry, I want to share my screen again, so I can start here. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yeah, well confirmed. Well confirmed. You can proceed.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. So basically, I'll be talking about the food and accommodation in Korea, and what does that imply is that because this accommodation actually ties to your visa, because you need to show the evidence that you have where to stay, and because the Korean government does not tolerate that kind of thing, that you are coming without having an identification of where you are going and the address. It's very, very important in Korea that you have your own address, so that they can be sure that you are coming to exercise what you tell them to do, right? So there's three stages to this. We have the introduction, we have the accommodation, food choices. So going into the introduction, accommodation is actually depends on your need and your financial situation, because you as a individual that is coming for the first time, I think a comfortable space is sufficient enough. Maybe you have your family, that space is not going to be enough for you, because visa application is evaluated based on the space. Like there is a requirement for space. If you are two person, you must have a particular space you are living together in the building. So there is a space requirement in Korea. So now if you have a family, you know that a single room that you are living the previous time will not be sufficient enough again, then you need to change. And basically for a student, we have like categories of accommodation. Number one, we have on campus accommodation, which is dormitory. If we are talking about dormitory, this is like a hostel in Nigeria. And one of the things we actually understand about it is that there is a term for contract. Once the school is off section like this, I think your payment has been expired. Then one of the advantages that you have access to some of these facilities. You are not going to buy some of these facilities. You are not paying extra bills. You are not paying this and that. And it has its own disadvantages as well. Like now, you may not have the freedom of cooking what you want. It's depending on the school condition, because I cannot provide sufficient information about the dormitory, but some of the one I knew about, I will be able to highlight it. You may not be able to cook the food of your choice. You may have some kind of limitation. You may be working within the constraint time, like maybe so time. This is when you can, that kind of condition may be attached to it. And then one thing is that if someone is having a goal that, okay, in a long time, I'm going to stay, I'm going to have my own family coming around, maybe one or two things, you need to get your own off-campus accommodation, which is like two common ones that we always access, that is always accessible to our level, because there's still a lot. There's some of these high-rise luxury building, but I think it's a stage by stage. So they have the Ajuma House, which is out for the old people, being built by the old people that have served the government, and they are using it for rent. So they always make it available at an affordable price. There's a studio apartment. The studio apartment is having a kind of similarity with dormitory, but though you have your own freedom, you can get some materials inside, you can do whatever you want, but it has a scope, because if you use the water or the gas or the electricity beyond a particular threshold, you may have an issue with it. You may need to pay extra fee, because there's an agreement. Maybe in the beginning of a month, you only pay 250,000 won, 300,000 won for you to get that space for that month and use some of these facilities. They have some of the basic like bed, fridge, and the likes. You have it in the studio apartment. Why for the housing, for the whole house, you probably be the one fulfilling all the materials that will be needed in the house, starting from bed, fridge, gas, chairs, and the like. You may be the one that is going to provide that one. And most especially, this kind of house is not actually advisable for the people for first time, because nobody knows one person's taste. You may have different tastes, and the person that help you here to get the house will provide you different. It's very stressful to even secure this kind of accommodation to someone, because the requirement is very high, because they demand much money paid down. And one other thing, the features of off-campus is that there's always a pay down. They call it kujungu. A pay down means that you are tying a contract that, okay, we pay actually every month, but you have to secure a contract. A contract means that this house I'm taking from you, I'm going to use it for 1 year, I'm going to use it for 2 years, and then the pay down could be like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, depend on the house or depend on the individual that is the owner of the house. So there's always a pay down. Even the studio apartment, you can have a pay down of 500,000 won or 1 million won, depend, and you have to sign a contract, because meaning that you must use 1 year in the house. Once you buy a contract, that's how the contract works. You can sign 1 year, you can sign 2 years, but most time it depends on what the owner wants. You may want someone of 2 years, you may want someone of 1 year. It depends. So you should have that one in mind, that there's always a pay down when you are living outside the campus. But for the dormitory, I don't think there's a pay down for that. So moving forward is to food choices. Adapting to local food option is very important, because let me say they have different derivative food. What I mean by derivative food is that the food actually comes from a primary source, and they now create a lot of secondary food from it. That's how Korea looks like. The rice is a staple food, and if you see it in our own side, we actually cook rice and eat, or cook rice for jollof rice, fried rice, use it for tuwo and some other thing. But yeah, they make different things from it, because there is no abundance of produce like we have in Africa. So we don't have it that way. So it makes it very difficult to actually have access to most of these food we consume in Africa. But though there's an improvement, recently people are trying to source the food outside the Korea, and then at a relative friendly price. Don't let me say cheap, because the definition of cheap is different in different contexts. So now you need to plan that, okay, you may be able to, you need to eat their food. And for the Muslims, it may be difficult when you come in because you have to be selective. If you are not, if you're a Muslim that, it's violated to be eating pork, you're going to face challenges about that, because almost every of their food, they prefer to have pork in there. And while some others are available, like seafood, always seafood, that one is okay. But for the Christian, I don't think it's a barrier for them, or except those that decided not to be eating it, or they have a reason against it. So that's one thing. Now, availability of African food. There's a limited option you have here, because let me say, it's not easy for you to get all this yam flour, cassava flakes, and the likes to make your swallow. It's very, very difficult. And if you get it, the price may be actually a bit expensive. So it's not actually easy, but people try to improvise what we have here. Like example of the food people used to make a swallow, because the rice is a staple food. They call it rice flour. We make it as like you make your semo, or you make your yam flour. So that kind of thing, you can get it. You improvise with what you have. Korean food is suitable for everyone, but those who avoid pork should be cautioned. Like everybody, I've mentioned it before. If you know that your belief or you have any reason against eating pork, then you have to be cautioned. You have to be aware when they are giving you food. You have to make sure that what you are consuming does not contain what violates your belief or your religion. So it's very, very important. Raw food sources. So because this is a developed country, you can purchase your food anywhere. You can be purchasing your food inside your room. They will deliver it to your doorstep. That's the funny thing about Korea. Nobody even take it away from your doorstep. You have it. If you like travel for 10 years and you still maintaining that accommodation, you find your thing delivered to your doorstep. You may go to their traditional market where you see the businesswoman selling there, and if you have interest there, you can actually buy from there. There is some supermarket, big supermarket here that you can go and buy your basic need there. Like, let me say, like egg, buy milk, buy some fruit and the like. So it's common that way. And then the online shop, we have the likes of Coupang, we have eMart, we have AliExpress, we have Temu. It depends on what you need and where you source it from. Then for other sources, the cooked foods sources, like we have a lot of restaurants, international restaurants around in Korea. If you like, you can choose to go to India, you can go to Japanese, even the local Korean food that is very top notch. They have it here. So it depends. So if you now get there, it is now, the point of pork issue. You need to factor it if it is against what you can actually consume or eat. And then another thing is that, despite these options are available, it is important to factor the financial implication of all of these options. Everybody understands that if you are buying raw food and cooking yourself, you are eliminating the cost of labor, but you are paying for your time as well. So you can't eat your cake and still have it. That's a rule. Because if you source your raw food, you need to make it to a final stage so that it is consumable. But if you feel like, okay, you cannot cook raw food, there's all these restaurants with a very friendly price that you can be going and be eating. If that one works for you, it meets your need. So I think that's that about it. And then, sorry. So now, I've mentioned the accommodation. This is a studio apartment. This is the kind of house you see for studio apartment. Sorry. This is the kind of house you see for a studio apartment. This is a typical dormitory in our school here in KNU here. This thing you are seeing is a dormitory. Like this, you are saying that is a dormitory, and because of the time, I was not able to get the picture of the old people's house. So I was not able to get it there. Yeah. So this is it. And we have other one which I think is not actually applicable to students at this level. Is the high-rise building, because it's very, very expensive. Because it's not expensive to be paying the rent, but it's expensive to secure the contract, because you may need up to like minimum of 10 million won for the standard high-rise building. So it varies down across the board. So then this is the kind of traditional market they have here. This is a kind of traditional market. This is a kind of store we have. This is a kind of another store that you can go and you just buy your things and you go out. And then the online, you have AliExpress, Copac. Then the other one I forgot to mention is the halal store, because of the Muslim, and we have some people from the Middle East or from the Islamic State in the whole world. They are here, so they have created a halal store that you know that if you go there, you are buying something. If you are the person that are actually concerned about halal, then you can go to that kind of store. They are available everywhere, and they have even online platform. They call you up top that you can actually order, and then you'll be sure that okay, this thing we're buying from this store, they are from the right source. If you are the one that concerned about halal, so now then one special thing is that for those halal stores, you can still see some varieties of food which is native to some of these Islamic states. That if you have interest in buying, you can actually just buy like different spices and different teas. You know, you can actually get it from that place. And then I will say thank you for listening, and while I entertain questions.
Thanks so much, Scholar Abdulhamid, for this wonderful presentation. The prospective scholar, please, do you have any question? Please proceed with your question.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. So when you were mentioning that one can go to local markets to buy things, for somebody new there, I I want to ask that, is there no language barrier? Are there people who speak English like we do speak it here in Nigeria, or is there anything like that over there?
Okay, is that all?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for your question. Actually, language is a means of trying to communicate, but nevertheless, everyone has his own strengths, and then you find a means of communicating to people. Because there's the one particular app we use here, we call it Papago, and then absolutely we can say that how do I put this in context? Like Korean literacy level is very, very high in the world. And what makes it high is that they have a unique language they speak, and most of them will read and write these things. So if you want to communicate with them, it's better you learn some basic, and then you just find a means of getting your information across. So for me, I know how I get my own information across, and some other people that can speak Korean, they know how they get information across. And this one of the things someone needs to learn if they are moving around the world. You should find a particular meeting point for you to communicate with them. So which is not actually a big deal. And these people are very open to help you. So if you have any issue now and you cannot communicate and the person cannot speak English. So sometimes what I do is that I type my own information, my message in English and translate it to Korean, and the person will read and will be able to help me in the other way. Then he or she may actually type Korean for me that convert to English, and then everybody meets in a point. So I think that's one of the things we do. And most times, even some of the stuff we buy, you may not even need to say hey, because you just go and pick what you need. You take it to the counter, then you give your card. And I don't advise that you shouldn't learn the language, but these are the way to communicate to them. Yeah, I think another question.
Okay. Thank you so much. Is there any other question? Scholar Hafiz, I think you raised your hand the other time.
Yes, sir.
Please proceed with your question. Scholar Anafi,
Yes, sir.
you
Thank you
raised
so
your hand
much.
the other time.
Please, are you hearing me?
Please, we can hear you
Yes,
clearly.
yes.
Proceed with your
Are
question.
you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I think for GKS scholars, they are saying we have to live on campus for 1 year, the language course.
Okay.
Maybe we may not have the opportunity
Okay.
to maybe rent house outside the campus.
Okay.
But notwithstanding, if somebody wants to rent a house outside the campus, can somebody maybe combine, join some other persons? Maybe I don't know the number of persons that you can scout with.
Okay. Thank you very much for your question, and I will render an apology for that because I scope my thoughts basically on people that are coming for professional scholarship, professorial scholarship. Actually, that's a rule. Government scholarship comes with some kind of condition that you have to abide with because uh, this is a form of bilateral agreement between a two countries. And that's why they are creating that kind of opportunity and they make sure that anything did not go wrong. So in your first year as a GKS or any other government scholarship like Koika, they give them dormitory for free. I don't know of the GKS, I don't know how they do their accommodation, but it's incumbent on them to be in the dormitory for 1 year. Then after that, and then the case of living with people, I don't think it's very high deal here because there is always an apartment that meets your need that you don't need to share with people. A single room, you can avoid it with whatever stipend you are getting. You'll be able to avoid it. There's no idea of sharing room because it is a different country. You need to live your life as normal, and there's no, how do I put it? No requirement to share an apartment with someone. It's not a very ideal, except you now get like 2, 3 rooms that is very big, and then even though you may be constrained that at any point in time that you want to extend your need, it may be a constraint for you. So, and it's not very advisable to just pick the route of pairing with someone. Just get what meet up your need and be fine. Any other question?
Thank you so much, Scholar Abdulhamid. Is there any other question? Are you satisfied, Scholar Anafi?
Yes, sir. I'm satisfied. I was only looking at the angle of food when you have to cook by yourself
Okay.
and all
Anyway,
those things. When
is
you
there
are
any
two,
other
it's
question?
always easier.
Okay, I think there is no other question. So, before proceeding to the closing remark, I would like to invite Scholar Salah, who meant to be the chairman of NSC KNU recruitment. He has been so dedicated and so committed to the NSC KNU here. That's to the progress of our NSC KNU here. So he has 1 or 2 inputs on what has already been disseminated by the previous scholars. So Scholar Salah, please, you can proceed with your input.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. And thanks to all the speakers. You guys have really done wonderfully well. So we thank you for the wonderful presentation. Actually, there are some things that I just want to add, especially to the first presenter and the question asked by Teresa Shoaib. I think the question was how much, let me quickly check. Okay, how much is required in the bank statement? Actually, when you are coming on D2 visa, there's minimum amount that you must have, which is $18,000 for people that are studying in Seoul, Gyeonggi, and Incheon, which is the central area, which is like Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Lagos. So the minimum amount you must have is $20,000, which is around 20 million won. For people that are coming to other universities, you must have at least 80 million won. So this is how actually we used to do it. So if you are coming on professorial scholarship, so what you need to do is to just approach your professor or your referrer to issue you a letter that will details you the stipends that you'll be getting at the end of every month. If they total all this amount together and it amounts to 80 million won, so you don't have problems. So you can just submit empty bank statement, like just history. But if it is not up to that, so it means you need to like complement you need to have the amount to augment the stipend that the professor will be paying you in the lab. This amount will reflect in your admission letter, because it's your admission letter they will check to know, okay, which amount are you going to earn, because that's their own standard here. They believe that as a student in Korea, as a graduate student, you must be able to earn at least 10 million won in a year. So that is it. For GKS scholars, so you don't need to bother about flight booking. So since you are coming on based on government scholarship, so they will book your ticket and send the ticket to you. So what you just need to know is to navigate your ways down to Korea, and I think Scholar Adigun has done justice to that. And concerning the hostel, so if you are a government scholarship, so you don't need to bother about renting renting apartments or accommodation outside. So you'll be given an accommodation for your first year. So, and everything is free. So, and it is mandatory that you stay in the apartment, in the dormitory they given to you, because I think I don't know, but I think they used to take attendance or so. So it is mandatory that you stay there. So, and you don't need to bother about housing systems and the likes. So that is a little input I want to add. So thank you so much. If you have any other questions, so you can ask. So we are all here to answer your questions. Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. Thanks to you, everyone.
Thanks so much, Mr. Chairman. Really appreciate your input. Please, is there any other question from the prospective scholars, please? We still have more minutes to round up the program, so please, just feel free to ask your question.
Yes.
This is the best platform that your question can be answered perfectly. Okay, you can proceed, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, our president. Please, for the visa charges, so you mentioned that if you want to go through Abuja, the USF or something like that, so I don't know. Still, for the GKS scholars, are you going to prepare for that charge, or I'm not sure because it's not indicated in the package?
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, as for government scholarship, so everything will be paid for you. Your visa will be paid for, so you don't need to bother about payment or so. So you don't need to bother about visa payment or so. Everything will be paid. So the government here will pay for your visa, and what you just to pick up your visa and then take your flight booking ticket, then you are good to go. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Are you satisfied? Has your question been well addressed?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay,
and also, people that will be using Lagos Embassy, like actually the speaker that presented the office application process applied through Abuja. So if you are coming to Lagos, there is all your documents will also be checked by the receptionist at the Ganta before they send your documents in. So you don't need to bother about rejection or so. So once you have your documents complete, so you don't need to bother. So all your government, they have the checklist on their table. So they will check everything, whether it is complete before they can accept your document. If anything is missing, they will not take it from you. So they will ask you to go and look for documents or to go and change necessary thing before they can get the document, before they can process the document for you. So it's also happening in Lagos, not only in FFS in Abuja. And like the speaker said, when you are the TB test, which is
Thank you so much, Scholar Salah, for this wonderful input. So we'll be moving down to the closing remark. Before moving down to the closing remark, I would like to appreciate individual for making this orientation a successful and accomplished mission. So I think the person that's supposed to give the closing remark is not here. Dr. Abumaswuro, he's here. Hello, doctor. I think he's not here. Okay. I think our Dr. Abdul Karim Kola will be the one to give us closing remark then. Doctor, please.
So why me, doctor sir? Why me?
Because you are our boss, yes, sir.
No.
Well known to you that you are our boss.
For the honor, I'll try to represent Dr. Abdul.
Okay.
So standing on existing protocol, I want to appreciate everyone for doing a very wonderful job, and right from the committee that put everything together to make this a fantastic session, from the chairman to the distinguished members of the committee, we really appreciate you. We commend the effort of the president, or the NSA president, NSA KNU president, for leading us through, and also we want to appreciate every single individual, and also we want to appreciate the incoming scholars that plan to join us soon. We hope you have benefited immensely from the series of lectures. And please do not hesitate to contact the committee if you have further questions. We also have our handles, the social media platforms. If you get in touch with any of the scholars, you can avail yourself of the links. And we look forward to having you here soon. We hope that your journey down here will be beneficial to you and also to Nigeria at large. So thank you so much, the chairman. With this, I just say thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Karim Kola, for this insightful closing remark. So we appreciate you all once again. We hope to see you soon here in South Korea. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
The programs continue tomorrow.
Yeah, I've already stated that. That's when we started this program.
Thank you so much.
Can we get the slides?
It should be, the slide will be sent to you. Don't worry.
No, good. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Yes, sir.